Good evening, I'm Prasad and this is KiniNews. Imagine being a state minister in your fancy office, lucrative perks funded by taxpayers, and still have the audacity to say national athletes should not be spoilt by rewards every time they win something. Funny he'd say that, makes you think politicians are the spoilt entitled ones. Sarawak Minister of Tourism, Arts, Culture, Youth and Sports, Abdul Karim Rahman Hamzah, said it is not good to reward national athletes every time they win something. This comes after national diver Pandelela Rinong splashed her way to a gold medal in the women's 10-meter platform at the Fina Diving World Cup 2021 on Wednesday. Karim was quoted on Borneo Post as saying if the government keeps on rewarding athletes every time they win a medal or achieve fame, it will not be good. However, he added the state will have its own way of rewarding them. Speaking more about this on Facebook today, he said he has been receiving many calls from people asking if the state government will award Pandelela a datukship in recognition of her achievements. And he responded by saying Pandelela was only 28 years old and they shouldn't do that. He added, quote, "Can you imagine a person who is just in her 20s and has already earned a datukship?" He explained it would be very difficult for her to interact casually with her peers as they would face the pressure of addressing her by her title. He said this would make social interactions awkward for her at her age. This is why he said by not rewarding her with a title, she may be able to enjoy her life. He said the state will reward her with a cash reward, but they don't wish to go overboard. Like Schrodinger's cat, MCO guidelines appear to be this and that at the same time. So which is what? What can we do? What can't we do? How hard is it to come out with a definitive guideline on things? That's literally your job. The National Security Council put out conflicting SOPs on sports and outdoor activities last night, leading to confusion. The SOP for MCO 3.0 in Selangor said sports activities that do not involve physical touch and outdoor training facilities were allowed. Meanwhile, the general MCO 3.0 SOP document merely said any sporting and recreational activities were subjected to the Youth and Sports Ministry's SOPs. However, it was updated last night to reflect the blanket ban on all sports and recreational activities as well as training facilities, such as gyms. The ban was slammed by even infectious disease experts, who pointed out that the risk of COVID-19 infection from outdoor exercise was low. But then Deputy Youth and Sports Minister Wan Ahmad Faisal Wan Ahmad Kamal defended the government's move to ban outdoor exercise. According to him, a thorough evaluation had been carried out by the Health Ministry and the National Security Council before imposing the ban. He said, quote, "I am pretty sure the Health Ministry and the NCS had deployed all necessary scientific tools and data set before arriving at this decision." Subang Jaya Assemblyperson Michelle Ng replied to Wan Faisal on Twitter saying that barring outdoor activities to prevent COVID-19 was, quote, unscientific. To this, the Deputy Minister shot back, quote, "Are you saying the Health Ministry's method is unscientific?" In a separate tweet, Dr. Adiba Kamaruzzaman, who is a professor of infectious diseases and a member of the World Health Organization Science Council, however, argued that outdoor exercise is safe during the pandemic. Former Health Deputy Director General Dr. Christopher Lee likewise said outdoor exercise was relatively safe. To make things more awkward for Faisal, the Youth and Sports Ministry said today it will seek new guidelines for sports and recreation under MCO 3.0. In a Facebook post today, the ministry said Minister Rizal Marikan Naina Marikan, who is Faisal's boss, indicated that he will bring several ministry suggestions regarding a more appropriate approach to sports and recreation for review at the NSC meeting this evening. Dr. Muhamad thinks he made a good decision by appointing Hamid Badr as IGP. But before we go any further, if you'd like to see more content like this, check the link in the description and consider being a contributor. Abdul Hamid Badr retired from the police force in 2018 before he was due to be appointed as the Special Branch Director. But after Pakatan Harapan formed the federal government, then Prime Minister Dr. Mahathir Mohamad needed someone he could trust to restore the police image, which had been tarnished by corruption. And the man for the job was Hamid. In an interview with Malaysia Post last night, Mahathir defended his move to appoint Hamid as the Inspector General of Police. Mahathir noted how not many people will be willing to take up early retirement over an opportunity for a promotion. But when Hamid did that, Mahathir knew he would do a good job as IGP. Mahathir explained that was why, even though Hamid was a junior and even though he had retired, he was called back to be the IGP. On May 3rd, Hamid ended his contract as IGP and handed over power to his deputy Akrul Sani Abdullah Sani. But before leaving office, Hamid launched an attack against Home Minister Hamzah Zainuddin, exposing alleged attempts to interfere in the police internal affairs. This was on top of claims that Hamzah had abused the police for his political benefits. Amna Youth in Seremban has cut ties with MCA because they're hoping they'll have what it takes to defeat Anthony Lok in GE15. Seremban UMNO has decided to cut ties with Seremban MCA and Negeri Sembilan MCA. This was done in response to alleged provocations by Seremban MCA Chief Siau Koi Wun, on who will be fielded as BN's candidate to contest the Seremban Parliament seat in GE15. Seremban UMNO Youth is looking to field a candidate in the seat traditionally contested by MCA and will leave the final decision to Negeri Sembilan Party Chief Muhamad Hassan. Seremban UMNO Youth Chief Zul Amali Hussein said his party will fight for a candidate from UMNO to contest in Seremban. When contacted, Seremban UMNO Division Chief Mustafa Salim said the division's youth wing had for 2 years in a row approved a motion for UMNO to field its candidate in Seremban. In confirming Zul's letter authorizing the Seremban UMNO Youth's decision to cut ties with the state MCA, Mustafa said he had previously advised both parties to refrain from raising problems that could affect BN's preparations for the forthcoming GE15. Separately, BN Youth Secretary Fadzmil Fadzil said the Seremban UMNO Youth's statement should be seen as a personal opinion rather than the party's stand. In GE14, former Transport Minister Anthony Lok retained the seat for DAP, beating MCA Secretary General Chong Sin Woon with a 30,000 vote majority.
Shellfish, red meat, and beer. If you love indulging in these foods, you may end up with high uric acid level in your blood. These foods consist high level of purine, a substance that will eventually break down into uric acid and be excreted through our urine. It is recommended that the amount of dietary purines should be kept between 600 to 1000 milligrams per day. Having too much uric acid in your blood can cause attacks of gout. It can also cause kidney stones and blockage in the kidney. The crystallization of the excessive uric acid in your blood can be eased by reducing purine-rich food to only 100 to 150 milligrams daily, maintaining a healthy lifestyle, and consuming urinary alkalinizer like Ural. It consists of sodium bicarbonate, citric acid, and sodium citrate that increases the urinary pH and solubility of uric acid to prevent crystallization. Best of all, it's lemon-flavored and sugar-free. Ural, effective urinary alkalinizer. Neutralize your uric acid problem now.
Emergency declared, interstate travel banned, parliament closed. So did COVID-19 cases go down? Nope, we just recorded over 4,000 new cases today. Malaysia today reported 4,498 new COVID-19 cases, a level not seen since early February. Meanwhile, Kedah, Negeri Sembilan and Perak reported cases that were far above the average recorded over the past 14 days. However, those are still not the worst affected states. Selangor leads the list with over 1,400 cases, followed by Sarawak with 740 and Kuala Lumpur with 436. The Health Ministry also reported 22 deaths from the disease today. And that is all from me today. For more stories, you can go to KiniTV.com. You can also follow us on Instagram, Twitter, YouTube and Facebook for the latest news updates. If you'd like to support independent media, do consider subscribing to MalaysiaKini.com. More than 50 supporters have contributed to KiniTV in the past 2 weeks. We thank you sincerely. Keep it coming because it really helps us continue doing what we do. And don't forget to leave your comments to tell us what you'd like to see in the future. I'm Michael. Thank you for watching.